Hey everybody, and welcome back to another lecture with Coding with Roby. And in this lecture, we're going to add tags and prefixes and our responses to our routers, which allow us to have so much more control over each API router. So let's dive in. Let's first go to our auth.py file, and let's scroll down until we see router equals API router. In our API router, we're going to pass in three parameters. A new prefix, which means each API within this file is going to start with this prefix. A new tag, which in our Swagger documentation will organize our APIs. And a default response in case we don't already have a response set up for a failure of this API. So let's start by typing in prefix equals, and within double quotation marks, let's say /auth, comma, tags equals, and as square brackets, let's say auth, also as a string, comma, responses equals, and with curly brackets, we're going to say 401, colon, another pair of curly brackets, which is going to be a dictionary of string user, colon, string not authorized. Let's save this file, go back into our terminal, and restart up our Unicorn main :app -- reload. Let's open up our Swagger browser and refresh the page. And now we can see that our authentication APIs now start with auth before each of the APIs as a prefix, and we also have our Swagger documentation organized with an auth as a tag. And again, this /auth/create user and this /auth token all comes from this prefix of /auth. Let's now do the same thing with our todos.py file. And inside here, we want this default to now say to-dos. And for each one of these APIs, we want the prefix to be to-dos. And it does look like we already added a small prefix for read all by user and read to-do with to-dos and to-do. But just looking at them, they're both not following the same convention. This is to-dos and this is to-do. So let's make all of our to-do APIs follow the exact same prefix. So let's jump into our todos.py file, scroll down until we can see our router equals API router. And as the parameters, we're going to say prefix is going to be equal to todos, comma, tags is equal to bracket todos as a string. Responses is going to be equal to curly brackets 404, colon, dictionary with curly brackets, description not found. Let's save this file, reload our Unicorn server, and open up our Swagger documentation and refresh. And immediately we can see that we now have to-dos and everything is pre-programmed with a to-dos prefix. Now this read all by user and read to do with a second term being to-dos and to-do, this is a little ambiguous. So let's go back and let's remove it from the code. Let's resave our application, hop back into our Swagger documentation and refresh our page. And there we go. We have our read all, create, read all by user, read to do, update to do, and delete to do. This is super cool as we are now organizing our APIs with prefixes and tags and allowing our application to be more scalable. This wraps up this lecture on us now creating our auth and our to-dos file to be completely separate entities, followed with prefixes, tags, and responses. And I will see you in the next video.